Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. I will show skin in a little bit. There we go, we showed skin. Let me see if I can get the painting as well. If the webcam wants to work with me, I can get the come on webcam. You know what? This is the best we got. This is the best we can do. A lot of people ask me, it's like, where did you get the painting, V? V, it's like, such a good paint. Where did you get it? And it's like, look, I just went to the Romanian equivalent of eBay. I went to paintings and I found like 3,500 search results. And then I wanted something that's a little bit fantasy oriented. And that's what I came up with. And that's kind of nice. I mean, I like the coloration to it. It soothes the eye. I like just, I don't know, it's relaxing every now and then. When I want to relax my eyes, I just turn around and I look at it. It's kind of cool. Alright, wow, Reggie Daniels. I didn't even start the stream then. Thank you. I appreciate that, Reggie. Let me see if I can give you a wrench. Here's something else, which is in vogue in Romania. Is that how you say it? In Vogue, Vogue magazine. You can now bring moss into your house. You can bring moss into your house and you can use it to tell which way to the north. Apparently, like, you can buy these panels that have actual moss in it. Like, at first I thought it's artificial. I thought it's like an imitation, but no, they're actual living things. Like, you got a living organism into your house. And I was like, okay, so how do you water it? Apparently you don't. It just sits there. And you get it for around 10 years, because after 10 years, it starts to go dead. I don't know, like, how does moss look when it's dead? Is it like, I think it's kind of like a leaf, right? It's gray. Yeah, you're supposed not to keep it in places that are very hot. Like, what happens if you bring the heat in? I mean, does it start to come up with water? I don't know. But don't get me wrong. I mean, despite the idea being crazy, I have seen some really good art. And then I looked at the price. Apparently, it costs around 500 to 700 euros per square meter. That is insane. That is a lot. That is a lot of money for the moss. But yeah, no, I mean, I seen some really nice decorations with it. Very, very bourgeois. For people who want to be like, oh, I'm going to save the planet. I really care about the environment. You can buy this shit. So I looked at them and they look really good. I mean, some of them are quite cool. Look at this one, right? Like you actually get like all this shrubbery into your house. It's kind of like a plant that you don't have to water. Jesus, I wouldn't do this. I mean, thinking how expensive they are, I wouldn't touch them. And I would scream at anyone who wants to touch mine. So, yeah, I mean, there are also different colorations. Apparently, they come in red. But not only that, like, apparently they also have art. There's art to them. And I gotta say, it's a lot more interesting than modern art. At least, it has pretty colors. I like looking at them. Look at this shit. Huh? Isn't this beautiful? Look at it. I'm going to save money and I'm going to buy something like this. Look at it. Look at it. I like it. Me gusta. Me gusta. It's kind of beautiful. Right. So, what about your country? Is this popular wherever you are from? Goodbye deposit check, yeah. Well, you know, you say it's a waste of money, and normally I agree, but like, you need some decoration into your house. You can't just leave the walls naked everywhere. So, I don't know, it's either that or I can put a rug on the wall. Or you can buy a painting. Like, that painting was actually, let me think. I think it was like $50. Yeah, it was around like $50. So with $50, I can buy some shrubbery. I will, Mutton Sword, just because you asked nicely. The Continentals are weird. Well, what do you do in Britain? Like, I'm generally curious, like, what is in vogue in the United Kingdom? I mean, let me tell you, you know, like, the thing that I get to choose from. I mean, the other thing, you know what else I could get? I could get corporate art. Alright, like I can get some corporate art if you want. You know, I can get some of this type of art. Very, very beautiful art style. Like, well, why is it corporate art a thing, by the way? Why do all corporations copy each other? Did you notice this? Like, you're walking on town, or you're buying a cooking book or something, and you see, like, this type of art style. Is there anyone that genuinely likes this art style? This is what I want. I mean, you know, you can say, well, yeah, but it's not offensive. It's like, yeah, but like there's other type of art that's not offensive. Like, the thing is, and this is what I want. You know, like, people say art is subjective. It's like, fine, whatever. But are there people who genuinely enjoy this? This is what I want to know. Like, is there someone who, you know, like, they take pictures of various corporate art and saves them on their folder just so they can watch it later? Are there people who genuinely enjoy this? Like, they want this in their home because they find it just the best thing ever? That's what I want to know. People want to burn it. It's quirky and non-offensive. Yeah, but like, you can get other art that's quirky and non. I mean, even the art that I showed you with the shrubbery. Okay, even that's not offensive. What are they doing to art? Man, it's literally in every company. Every single mall that I go into, every single book that I buy, like, if it's a cooking book or something, every single advertisement that I see a corporation showing some art style, it's literally the same. It is the same, like, color arts is for cartoons. I think, you know what I think? I think I know the reason. It's because it's very easy to produce. It's very cheap to make. I mean, let me put it this way. I wouldn't be able to draw this. Right? Like, I wouldn't be able to render this. But I would definitely be able to do the corpo art. Like, all I would need is, I don't know, a week of training. Like, someone asked me to teach me how to do it. And once you're able to do one of them, you can do a lot of them. So it's like the fast food of art, I guess. It's just easy to manufacture and easy to produce. And as you mentioned before, like, somebody in the chat said, it's quirky and inoffensive. Yeah, I mean, like think about it, right? Like, this is very difficult if you want to do various facial features for, like, different races. Like, let's say you have diversity, right? And you're an artist. Well, you now need to know how to draw properly white people, and how to draw black people, and how to draw Asians, and you need to make them in a way so it doesn't look like Uncanny Valley. So it requires a lot of talent for someone to do this. With this, all you can do is just change the palette, just change the color, change the hairstyle a little, boom, you got diversity. And then you can even do, like, weird stuff, like you can make a person purple. You make someone purple, it's like, oh, you're so quirky, you're so diverse. Then you make, like, this. It is, I mean, look at it. It is so weird because, like, no one wants it. Like, no one likes it. It's just, like, bizarre. I mean, let me give you another example, right? And I think, like, I know what the major problem is. Real major problem is here. Like, this is Kellogg's Frosties, right? Like, everyone knows the tiger. Everyone knows they're great, right? Like, it's a brand. You get to recognize it. It's like, okay, this is Kellogg's Frosties. This is what it's at. This is, like, literally something that every single corporation can put on. Like, it doesn't matter. If you're a phone company, bam, you can put this on. If you're, I don't know, a comic book company, bam, you can put this on. If you're antivirus corporation, bam, you can put this on, right? Software company, bam. Like this is so genetic. It's literally like every single corporation can just fit into this beige, and it's such a major difference than what it used to be. Like this used to be a corporation would have their logo, right? It would have like their recognizable thing. It's like, okay, it's the tiger. Everyone knows what this tiger is. Every furry has seen this tiger in a chat room, right? It's the Tony the tiger. Same with Chocapic, Nesquik, right? You get to visualize. It's like Coca-Cola with Santa Claus. I don't know if you can say it's kami art, but it's genetic. That's what it is. It's just a blank slate. It's if you're a corporation and you don't have art, you can get some of that, I guess. It's a universal art style that helps them keep costs down for paying artists. Yeah, pretty much. But like the downside is that it doesn't say anything. I mean, sure, it's like it's better than no art, I guess. But when you have like literally every single corporation using the exact same art style, then might as well don't use the art style. Just do something else. Jesus. Apparently there's even a meme about it. Big tech corpo art style, it's called. Anyway. But I like people say genetic, non-offensive art. I mean, sure, I can see what you mean, but let's look at some other. This is also genetic, not offensive art. But at least I like it. The colors are nice. Like I can relax myself watching this. Like I can get it that okay, it's a bird flying. It doesn't say anything, but it's a lot better than whatever this is. It's the same colors, by the way. It's like, Jesus. Yeah, it's a lot better than this. What does this tell you, by the way? Like you're going to work. You're at the workplace. What the fuck? It's like a lady with a flower. They're wasting time. They're not working. By the way, like actually, this is a major problem that a lot of companies do. Is like, oh well, we want to mix work with fun. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because they want you to believe that the company is your second family or some shit. Motherfucker, I got a family waiting at home. Okay, like I when I go to work, I want to work. I want to do a good job. I want to finish and then I want to go home. I don't want none of this shit. I have friends that I do this shit with. My coworkers are not my friends. Okay, they're my coworkers. But if I say something like this at the interview, I probably won't get hired. No, but seriously, like I'll tell you something that I really hate about the workplace. I don't know how many of you have a job or whatnot, but like apparently when I said this story last time, like a lot of people could relate. So when I was working at the hospital, I was doing microbiology. So I would get there and I would finish my job in 3 hours. Okay, like I knew what my workload is. I would just get there. I wouldn't drink coffee with everyone else. Everyone else was drinking coffee. No, I would just go to my workbench and I would finish my job in 3 hours. And then I had literally nothing to do. I was like, what am I supposed to do now? And I would go around, I would ask other people, hey, do you need help? Do you need help? Like, no one wanted help. Okay, fine. So I would go to the computer and I would play video games or something. And then, like, people were telling me to the boss that I'm not doing anything. So eventually, like, the boss starts arguing with me about it, starts telling me off. It's like, why are you spending time playing video games? And I'm like, okay, fine. And then I go to the boss myself, and I say, look, I'm finishing my job in 3 hours. Give me something else. Like, give me some work. Because, like, nothing is worse than when you're at the workplace and time stands still. Because you have nothing to do. It's like, I would rather have a busy day than have nothing to do. In fact, it's a way that in Japan, they get to fire people. Like, their legislation doesn't allow you to just fire an employee. So what they do is, like, they put them in a room with a table, and they give them nothing to do. So eventually, like, the worker just quits. Because it drives them crazy. And the boss tells me, it's like, well, there's nothing for you to do. And I'm like, okay, so why can't I play video games? It's like, because you're at work. It's like, yeah, but there is no work. And eventually I ask him like, what the fuck do you want me to do? And he says, act busy. Like, what the fuck do you mean act busy? Like, what is this like act busy? Is the thing that drove me insane. It's honestly like the only major negative thing that I really despise about working is the act busy part. It's like, look, I'm going there, I'm doing my job, I finished my job, either give me more or leave me the fuck alone. You know, like, but apparently, you know, like that was the problem. Everyone else, it was mostly women, by the way, like they would look at me as if I'm some sort of bizarre creature in the lab, because like at microbiology, there were only women. I went to microbiology because my grandmother was a doctor in microbiology, so I wanted to, you know, follow in her footsteps. Plus, I really enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed the studying about the various taxonomy of bacteria, and virusology was great. I love doing that. But, you know, like, you'd go there, and all the other women, they were there, and they were gossiping, listening to radio, taking it slowly. I just like, no, I don't want to take it slowly. I just want to work. And by the way, don't think like there were hot ladies. Like, we're talking about 50s, 60s. I think there was even a 70-year-old woman. Yeah, like that was like a really nice lady. She's the one that was teaching me a lot of good stuff. She was a university professor. But I heard that my experience, my lived experience, wasn't just in my situation. Like in a lot of workplaces, people like me, who they go there and they just want to work, just leave me the fuck alone, okay? Don't talk to me, unless it's work related, okay? If it's work related, talk to me. Otherwise, fuck off, please. Like, I'm there to do a job. I just want to do the job. I want to do it properly, and I want to do it fast. If you have like those types of people, no, like that, because you finish before everyone else, and then you have to act busy. Did you ever see the review embargo drop? Master of the Universe confirm it's Tila's show. Well. You know, like, that is a fan disservice. I wouldn't even mind if it's a Tila show, but, like, I bet it's going to be done poorly. You know, I bet it's not going to even have good writing, but okay. I watch YouTube at my lab constantly, and I get paid hourly. It's great. You should have gone into physics. I hated math, so no. I can work or go home. Based and silent work bill. Get a job where you get paid for the work you do, not the hours you do. I mean, well, as a doctor, that's impossible, okay? Like, I finished med school, so I just... You get to work for a hospital. Unless, you know, you open your private clinic, and then you actually get paid for the work you do. They had to lie to invoke nostalgia. Yeah, so, okay, let's talk a little bit about the He-Man and the makers of the universe or whatever. I made another video and I discussed about it. This is what I call fan disservice. It's like knowing what the fans want and you give them the exact opposite for no goddamn reason whatsoever. Like, there is no punchline. It's just malice. It's just like evil. Like, you're doing it because... You know, like, these people, I think I'm going to coin a new word. They're anti-fans. Literally, it's what they are. You know, like a fan. Well, actually, never mind. I'll make a video on my other channel talking about this. But they're literally anti-fans, and I'll explain why. But imagine, like, if you were to make a sequel to Xena Warrior Princess, right? And a lot of people grew up with Xena. A lot of people love Xena. So you even managed to get the actress on board. And it's all great. Like, everyone wants to watch the show. And then, in the beginning of the show, you murder Xena, and you replace her with Iolaus. You guys remember Iolaus? Like, he was, I believe, the cousin of Hercules or something, right? And you're going to have Iolaus carry on the show. Why the fuck would you do that? Why the fuck would you do that? There is literally no financial purpose on why you would do that. Like, it makes literally no sense. No, it's like, okay, so anti-fans are the people that don't care about the show. They really don't give a shit. Like, but they will be on forums of that show attacking actual fans. So what are fans? Okay, because that's another interesting thing. Like, what are fans? Fans are the type of people that not only just watch the show, but they're also very invested in it. So they know everything about the lore. They're the ones that are sparking conversations about the show on the internet. They're the ones purchasing merchandise about the show. They're the ones recommending the show to their friends. So it's like, from a business standpoint, the fan is not just a returning customer, but it's a customer that purchases your merchandise, and it's a customer that is pretty much like a free billboard advertising your stuff. Like, any type of IP should really care about their fans first and foremost. And what the anti-fans are people who don't like the IP, like they actually dislike the IP, and they do the opposite. Like they will go around on forums telling people that the fans are sexist, racist, bigots, like the fans of this show are evil, the fans of this show are mistreating women, the fans of this show are this, the fans of the show are that. They argue with the fans, they tell the fans that if they don't like it, they should leave. Like, literally, they are anti-fans. They do not consume the product, they do not purchase IP around the product. All they do is they scare people away from the forums, from whatever place you have that people talk about the product. That's pretty much what you're doing. So, I don't understand. Geekdom is burning. Don't be a fan, be an enjoyer. Yeah, I mean, like, imagine... Well, actually, I think that's the problem. Hold on, if I think about it, that's the problem. Like, people aren't fans anymore. Look at the new Star Wars. How many people have bought the, I don't know, Rose Tico action figure? How many people bought the Admiral Gender Studies action figure? Like, Admiral Gender Studies was probably supposed to be like a good role model for women. No one gives a shit about her. Like, literally, no, like, her toys are collecting dust on the shelves. And the thing with most franchises is that even if people watch your stuff, even if people watch your episodes and they get involved and whatnot, as long as people don't buy the merchandise, it's going to be a failed business. I mean, I think Thundercats is an example of this. Before Thundercats Go, there was another Thundercats, which made another reboot. And it was actually good. Like, a lot of people watched it. From what I understand, the ratings were high, but people weren't purchasing the toys. And apparently, if people don't purchase the toys, then the network decides to shut down the project. Well, it was Admiral Gender Studies. No, like, this is not... people are saying, oh, Ethan Van Sciver. Motherfucker. This is something that's not from Ethan Van Sciver. This is something that actually the internet came up with. Like, the moment I saw her, literally, the moment I saw her on the screen, in my head, I was like, okay, this is Admiral Gender Studies. And I did this in my life, by the way. I generally did this in my life. Like, this is great. They're great. Like, if anyone has one, please donate it to me. You know, if I get a super chat, I'll buy one of these. I don't think if you can even buy them anymore. Like, they're probably buried in a desert next to E.T., the video game. There's no follow-up. Vice Admiral Gender Studies Vags. Ooh. No, but like the thing is, they can't okay, like I have so much to say that I can't even speak properly. So the main issue isn't that you know, they came up with a character that looks like this. Like, that's not the main issue. The main issue is that they want this character to be a symbol. They want this character to help little girls, I guess, find a role model. This is literally what they're saying, right? Like, the Force is female. That's what they want. They want this character to be a role model for little girls, right? So she's a lesbian, she's progressive, you know, she's open-minded. But then you look like she's supposed to be a leader. So she keeps her underlings in the dark the entire show. She is mean to them for no apparent reason. Like, she mistreats them. She expects them to listen to her just because she's a woman and because she's like the institution. Like, she's in power, so just because she's got the position, everyone needs to click and just follow her blindly to their deaths, I guess. Like, she does everything wrong to the point where when the mutiny happens, the viewer actually cheers for the mutineers because, like, she seems incompetent. Okay, like, she gives the vibe of being incompetent. But then it turns out, see, you should have trusted her all along because she's got a plan. Like, she had a plan, but for some reason, She just didn't want it to tell to other people. Why? Because she wanted people to trust her because she's a woman. Like, her not telling the plan is just so that she can show how misogynistic the people under her are. That's literally it. And it's like, like, I'm sorry, but in real life, this wouldn't have worked. In real life, like, even if she did have a plan, like, people just wouldn't trust her because she's incapable as a leader. Admiral Gender Studies Fund. I don't know, I think it's $20 in it. No, I'm kidding. Like, I don't think I can even buy it in Romania. Shame on you for not trusting Admiral Gender Studies. Like, and by the way, like, I will tell you just how bad the writing is. Because the people who create these types of stories are incapable of writing some coherent fiction. What if, like, this is how you can literally save the show. Like, it would have required just a couple of lines of dialogue. She could have said, there is no way that the Order can follow us through hyperspace. Like, because, like, as far as they knew, there was no technology about that, right? So she should have said, there is no way the Order can follow us through hyperspace. We must have a mole. The only way they knew where we are is because we have a mole. So we are going to keep the escape plan a secret for as long as possible. Right? Like, that is literally it. And when, what is his name? When, the pilot, I forgot his name. Like, that's how memorable the characters are. When the pilot comes to her and is like, so do you have a plan? She would be like, no, look, we have a plan, but we think we have a mole. Because, like, someone followed us through hyperspace. So we're going to keep the plan a secret. Like, you should trust us. Leia trusted me. We're still a military. You still need to follow orders. But, like, we need to trust each other right now. So blah, 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 blah. That's the correct way. Let me see who keeps messaging me at this hour. At the hour of the wolf. Okay. But not to mention, it's not even that. The whole episode is a clusterfuck. I mean, the whole episode is just like two ships that are following each other throughout 3/4 of the movie. And that's Star Wars. It's like, where's the world building? Where's it's Star Wars, right? Where's the governments talking? What happened? Like, what is the morale within the Republic? I mean, you just blew up 4 of their planets. How are they feeling about it? Where's the world building? That's my question. It's like, no, this is just, oh god, like, you're bringing me so much harmful memories. It's toxic. I'll just no. Poe, yeah, Poe. People in the chat know. How is she open-minded? Because she's a lesbian, man. Yeah, purple hair in the military. So like, here's another question. My fucking god, I can't stop with this shit. Like, when the writing is so bad, people start nitpicking. So she's in the military. Which means, like, she's even... I suppose, like, at this point, they're trying to run away. So the logistics, like, the logistics are cut. Like, they're not receiving supplies, a chain of supplies to feed their ships. They're running away in space. And with a big strain on logistics, she has the ability to get dye for her hair. Like, think about it. Like, in a military, right? So in a military situation where you are strained on logistics because you like, your planet just got blown up. You don't have people, bringing in extra food, bringing in extra ammo. You don't have any of that. But she does manage to have, like, her ample supply of makeup and dye. Yeah, hair dye. I guess, like, makeup, fine. Like, most people won't notice it, but, like, hair dye, really? Like, you're telling me that every single morning she wakes up, she, puts on her makeup, and then once a month, she actually, like, gets ready to dye her hair to look presentable. in a military situation. Are you saying non-binary, genderqueer, two-spirit, authorkin can't write fiction? They're not even that. Like, the people who write this shit aren't non-binary, genderkin. The people who write this shit pretend to care about non-binary, genderkin to sell to other people who also don't care about them. It's like they only care about it on a theoretical basis. I miss when the battle tactics in Star Wars made sense. I don't think they actually had battle tactics that made sense. They actually had good writing. That's what they did. They had strong characters. But like, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what actually works with Star Wars, right? So this is the shit that works with Star Wars. It's the world building, right? Like, I'm telling you, when I watched Star Wars, I didn't knew much about life. I think I was like, I don't know, like 12, 13. But I was watching it and it's like, okay, so this guy, look, he's on an alien planet and look, like all these monsters are out to get him. And he meets like this interesting fellow that's got magical powers and now he's on a planet and he's training with this puppet. Right? Like, he's training with the puppet and the planet itself was interesting. It wasn't like just, Luke is talking with Yoda. No, but like around him, you got to see an alien world and there's this mysterious cave and he goes in and shit happens and like that was like what really got me into Star Wars. That was the essence of it. I mean, look at this, it's so mysterious. Like even the rivers, they have fog. Even the river has the fog of war because it's Star Wars. Get it? Yak yak. Right? And the way they're doing battle was original. It's like, okay, so they got lightsabers and the lightsabers can parry bullets and it's like so fucking cool. And that's why people like to watch it, because it was like almost like getting into a new world. And by the way, like I watched so much sci-fi, like so much, including The Expanse, which is considered to be a good one. Very few have like the alien world building, where you're going in on an alien world and there's so much interesting stuff going there, and like it can catch the viewer by surprise. I think like Mass Effect was the last IP that I can remember which actually did this world building. Where you go to visit alien planets and there's interesting shit there. But yeah, I mean this is pretty much what was cool about Star Wars. Wasn't Admiral gender studies and people being locked up in a spaceship for 3/4 of the movie? Was it the fact that, oh my god, look, Rey can fire one laser and hit 3 enemy ships? She did a triple kill the first time she got into the controls. Prequels had better world building too. Yeah, I mean, okay, so the prequels, a lot of people complain about a lot of people complain about Jar Jar Blinks. But I'll tell you what else the prequels had, which was fucking cool. I remember being in the cinema and seeing this for the first time, like my jaw dropped. It looks so fucking epic, right? So they're going underwater and they're flying in this like underwater spaceship. And all of a sudden, like there's this massive underwater city. And it looks so epic. And I'm like, wow, that's so fucking cool. But not only that, like then they get chased off by like this evil alien fish. And then the alien fish gets eaten by a larger alien fish. And I'm like, okay, like that was great. I mean, for the time, the special effects were just mind-blowing you. And it wasn't just because it's special effects, but it's like you're getting the impression that you're seeing a new world. You're experiencing something. You're discovering something in a galaxy far, far away. And you get none of that into like what is even close to that? I'll show you what's close to that. Let me see if I can even find it. So the only thing close to this in the new Star Wars are these aliens. Like literally, that's it. That they use them for comedy relief, like these CGI creatures. I don't even know what they call, like porgs or whatever, right? Because they thought, we need something that we can market. Like we need something that we can sell toys. So they came up with the porgs that literally, like, the only thing they're doing is like they're screaming. It's like, oh look, it's scared. It's scared. Oh, it's so cute. Isn't it cute? It is cute, isn't it? Oh my god, it's so adorable. Fuck off. Yeah, like a lot of love was put in the prequels. By the way, I never complained about the prequel, so I get to I get to complain about the sequels more than other people, because other people were like, oh, the prequels are so bad. Oh yeah, the prequels are. I never thought the prequels are bad. I even like Jar Jar Binks. I'm not going to lie. I even found it funny because I was a kid. I found Jar Jar Binks funny than C-3PO. C-3PO was just annoying. And before you say anything, like, take into account that Jar Jar was still a better character than anything in Disney Star Wars. Yeah, space gerbils, literally. But it's not even space gerbils that's the problem. It's like, it is such obvious what they were doing. They didn't create a character that they thought, oh, this might fit with the universe. Like, this might actually be cool. No, they were like, okay, well, how can we market something? Like, we need something that we can sell toys. And they came up with the space gerbil. That's literally the thing. And it's so obvious. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm pretty sure in other IPs they might do the same. It's like, okay, how can we market RoboCop? Like, you need to make it in a way that we can sell toys. But it's not so blatantly obvious. Like, it's not really trying to tell you, hey, can we have some of your money, please? Finn started good, or Kyle at the first 5 minutes? Oh yeah, like, Finn started good. Like, Finn was like, okay, so a stormtrooper that's going off radar. Alright, that's so cool. And then, like, that plot doesn't really come up at all. I mean, he goes on and just shoots other stormtroopers and just doesn't give a fuck. It's like, dude, you were just literally fighting alongside them a couple of minutes ago. Shouldn't you care? I mean, they're your battle brothers. You probably knew their names if you could take off the helmet. And by the way, like, I was laughing my ass off when the final episode hit, and like, Finn finds other stormtroopers that are going rogue, and literally all of them are black. I'm not even kidding. Like, just watch the sequel again. It's like all of the stormtroopers that broke their conditioning were black. And I'm like, don't you think, like, the Empire would start to notice a pattern? It's like, okay, well, these might be defective. They might be prone to going haywire. Pogs literally only exist because the film crew wasn't allowed to shoot the puffins off the set. I don't know what the puffins are. Phantom Menace aged horribly, CGI fest. Yeah, but like, at the time, I'm willing to understand. If at the time that was the technology, that's what they used, it's fine. Still, it's got like a better story than the last ones. Puffins are a bird. Okay, let's go to what the title is about. Wolf whistling could become a crime under new laws to help protect women and girls. So let me get this straight, okay? Like, the problem... Like, the problem that women and girls are facing in the United Kingdom, apparently, is related to knife crime and rape, okay? That's illegal, right? I'm just saying, I'm just asking. Secondly, you do realize that wolf whistling is most likely going to affect the working class more, if what I'm experiencing is to anything to go by. And like, ever since I got a fiance, I get like more things that are being exposed to me, because I can ask her, like, hey, who's usually wolf whistling you on the street, right? And it's usually like the working class lads, because I and my friends have never wolf whistled. And this is because me and my friends are the intelligentsia. We went to uni. We went to med school. Law school. I never seen anyone from law school or med school wolf whistling, right? Like, this is considered incredibly, how should I even say, low culture. Like, it's something that I guess it's considered like drunk people would do, but no, not even that. Like, people with no class. Yeah, that's how we would call it. Like, people with no class would wolf whistle, right? Never have I seen any of my guy friends wolf whistling. And it's not something that we were even conscientious about. It's like, no, I'm genuinely curious, okay? Because I don't want to speak from just my personal experience. Is there anyone in the chat that has experienced, like, let's say a doctor wolf whistling, or an engineer, a politician, you know, like someone that's bourgeois? Has you seen bourgeois people wolf whistling? Yeah, like, usually a wolf whistle happens at the construction site. Yeah, that's pretty much what I think. Or if you go into like some shady neighborhood and you have like the street gangs there, they're going to wolf whistle. You'll get fired off the construction company if you get caught. Okay, well, it's not like that in Romania, so yeah, but I guess you're right. In the UK, you'd probably so I guess it's like the people on welfare that have nothing to lose, because like you can't fire someone that's on welfare, right? Pretty sure I've seen 0 people do it in real life. I seen it. Okay, so you only seen it in TV shows. I seen it, I guess, in shady neighborhoods and construction sites. But I guess like this is fixed in Britain, because like, as someone pointed out, like, you would get fired if you're caught doing it on a construction site. Don't you remember the woman walking around New York? Yeah, but the woman walking around New York wasn't wolf whistled. I remember it's like that she had people like telling her to have a nice day, and she had people telling her it's like, hey, beautiful, or hey, can you smile, or something like that. But it wasn't like people going like awooga, awooga, you know, like not that type. Right? And even then, from what I remember, like the woman walking through New York, and apparently like she walked an entire day and only had like 10 minutes worth of footage. It was again like shady neighborhoods where you had people wolf whistling, and you kind of noticed that there was a lot of diversity in that commercial. Let's put it like that. Like, there was a lot of diversity in that project. And I again, like, I haven't seen a single person in a business suit, you know, a single bourgeois person wolf whistling at that lady. Can you smile? Such horror. Well, you know, like, I'm going to admit, if I was a woman with big tits, if I was like Davina Duckworth, right, and I'm carrying my tits on the street, and everyone tells me to smile, yeah, it would probably be annoying. I wouldn't feel afraid, but it would probably be very fucking annoying. Now, what would be even more annoying is that when you grow up and you get like the people that tell you to smile, like they don't exist anymore. Then you know, you get to the Jessica Valenti type of thing, where 1 year she was like, oh, wolf whistling, it's such a horror, men should stop. And then the next year she's like, oh, I kind of miss wolf whistling. Like, I'm getting old and people don't wolf whistle at me. Look, Davina Duckworth tells me that you get to ignore it after a while. That's how the peasantry courts. I don't know why the fuck people wolf whistle. I don't know why do they do it, because it's not like you're going to get past a lady and you're like, oh, senorita, awooga, awooga. And she's like, oh my god, I'm so wet, please take me here. You know, like, that doesn't happen. Well, let's be honest, I genuinely like don't know why people wolf whistle, but like, whatever the fuck. Should it be a crime? No, I don't think it should be a crime. You know, it's just like so ridiculous. A widespread outpouring of emotion. And by the way, this is because like the government is incompetent and can't keep people safe. So now they're like, oh, you know what? We're going to fix it for you. We're going to criminalize wolf whistling. And I love it's like police do not protect us, and you literally have like a female police officer. Like, is this female police officer not part of us anymore, right? Because like do not protect us women, and you have a woman that's a police officer. Can she protect herself or yeah, you know, why not just buy a gun? Oh, you can't because you're in Britain. Yeah, that's right. Wolf whistling and other forms of street harassment could become a criminal act. Yeah, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to court people in the streets anymore. Get a Tinder. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're starving the corporation. You're not supposed to. By the way, like here's an interesting take. I actually know two couples that met each other on the street. So one of my best friends actually managed to pick up a lady in the bus stop. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, apparently like he did. And the other one also managed to pick up a lady in one of those fairs, I guess you call it, you know, like a street fair. I'm telling you this, like if this was a thing, like if it was illegal to do street harassment, they probably wouldn't have ended up together. Because what is the difference of harassment and just flirting? Like flirting if she likes it, harassment is if she doesn't. Following the death of Sarah Everett this year, the safety of women and girls was placed back into the spotlight. I love it. You know, you have a knife crime epidemic, no one gives a fuck. Something happens to a woman, whatever. We need to take this seriously. I'm telling you, the United Kingdom cares about two people: women and rich men. Like, if you're a rich man, if you're like the multi-millionaire football player, then everyone gives a shit. If not, well, tough luck. A government survey on the subject found that nearly 3/4 of the UK population has experienced sexual harassment in their lifetime. Yeah, but like, what the fuck is sexual harassment? You know, like someone spanking your ass? I had that happen to me as well by another man. Very uncomfortable. No, seriously, like I was walking the street and then another guy, which was drunk, like spanked my ass. It didn't end into an altercation because it was him and 5 other of his friends, and I didn't feel like getting hospitalized at the time, so I just kept walking, minding my own fucking business, pretending it didn't happen, you know? But for a second, it was like that multi-billionaire question. You know, where like your ass gets spanked, and for a second the time freezes, and you get like, what do you do? And you get A, B, C, D, call a friend, ask the public, or what was the third? 50-50. It was like A, pretend that nothing happened and keep going. B, confront the individual. C, make a pleasant moan. You know, it was like... So I guess I would be part of the statistic. The 2020 survey found that harassment was occurred most frequently on the street or walking around, in a club, pub, or bar, aka where people are drunk, or on public transportation. When will I be able to walk alone and feel safe? Motherfucker, I don't feel safe if I walk alone in some neighborhoods. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And not to mention, like, feel safe. So how do you want the government to make you feel, like, to control your feelings? You know, like, the government might make you safe. It can lock you in a maximum security prison, and you're going to be safe. I don't know, seriously, like, the safest prisons are the maximum security. Do you know how the maximum security prisons are like? They lock you in a cell the size of a bathroom, alone, with no roommate, and you sit there like 23 hours a day, and then you get like 1 hour, they take you out, and they take you in this like little small cage in the yard. So at no time do you have contact with any other inmate. It's just you, alone. Oh, and every hour they knock at your door asking if you killed yourself. I'm not kidding. It's... Yeah, seriously, they ask you, and you have to say something, right? So that they can know you're still alive in there. Honestly, like, to me, this is cruel and unusual punishment. Like, maximum security prisons are the most fucked up systems of punishment that I have ever heard in the world. I would rather be in medieval time where you get sent to the mine than be in a maximum security prison. It's just like, it destroys people. But anyway. So women, young people, but most importantly, the creme de la creme, ethnic minorities, LGBT individuals, and those with disabilities were significantly more likely to have experienced harassment. Well, like harassment comes from harassment is more likely to come from within the person's community. I know, think about it. Like, which is more likely, a stranger to harass you or someone that you know? Think about it. The survey was published ahead of the government strategy on tackling violence against women. I'll tell you how to tackle violence against women. Allow them to purchase guns. No, seriously, just think about it. Like, in the UK, just so you understand, in the UK, you can't even buy a taser, you can't buy mace, and you even can't buy an attack dog. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, breed of dogs are being banned in the United Kingdom. You can't have an attack dog, right? So, what the fuck are women supposed to do? Like, put yourself into the shoes of a wolf whistler, right? Like, one of the most horrible people in the world, a wolf whistler. Would you wolf whistle if you knew that the lady is packing? Let's say she's got mace, okay? So you go to a lady and it's like, hey, senorita, and like, psh. I guarantee you, you're not going to wolf whistle again. Then, hey, senorita, please stop. I'm calling 911. Emergency. It's like, yeah, I'm getting wolf whistle on the street. By the time the cops are there, the guy is even gone. It's so bizarre. And it's like, oh, yes, they're going to have to pay a fine now. Yeah, good luck getting someone on welfare to pay a fine. They don't have money. They're not going to pay for it. Fuck are you going to do then? The safety of women and girls across the country, wherever they are, is an absolute priority for her. It's unacceptable that women and girls are still subject to... Look, if you don't want to allow them to buy a gun, then allow them to at least have pepper spray. At least let them have pepper. You know what the argument against pepper spray is? Because when I heard the argument, I was just like laughing my ass off. Like literally my asshole was laughing. So the argument against pepper spray is that some people have an allergy to it, or some people have asthma. So basically, like, you might kill someone with pepper spray. I'm like, uh-huh. But you do realize, like, I don't want pepper spray to attack random people. Like, I don't want to buy 2 bottles of pepper spray and go out like, you know, like a, and be like, eh. I don't want to do that shit. Like, most people buy pepper spray and hope never to use it. But there are those situations where you actually have to use it. People tend to use pepper spray to assault each other. I haven't seen that. Like, look, people will use anything to assault each other. People can use a baseball bat to assault each other. In the United Kingdom, they're using knives, despite the fact... And not to mention, like, pepper spray is not really a good assault weapon, considering the fact that if you spray it and the wind comes towards you, it can affect you as well. Hey V, tangent here, but are you into webcomics? If you want original stories, I recommend A Red Tail's Dream and Stand Still, Stay Silent. Both Minan Samberg and both are excellent. I'll look them up if I have time. And by the way, like, if it's bad for an individual to have pepper spray, why can't the police have it? You know, like, why can people not have guns but the police can? Like, I never understood that. Are the police not humans either? Or, like, why are they above? Anyway, so now she's going to do some trivial shit and tackle wolf whistling. I am committed to ensuring that not only the laws are there, but that they work in practice, blah, blah. You know, like, I'm really curious. Here's my take on this. I don't mind if wolf whistling gets banned, okay? Like, I personally don't do it. My friends don't do it. I don't give a fucking shit. You know, it's like, don't want them wolf whistle, don't wolf whistle. Make it illegal. 10 years in prison. Fine. My question, though, is this actually going to tackle the problem? Like, if we make a statistic and we see... Alright, so you already made the statistic. It's like, what is it? 72% of the UK population has experienced at least one form of sexual harassment. Okay, 72%. So now you're criminalizing wolf whistle. Do you think, like, in 10 years, the 72% is going to remain the same, go up, or go down? Because I'm pretty sure, like, this is not going to achieve anything. Like, this is not going to get people to fix the problem. You're not tackling wolf whistling. You're tackling sexual assault, right? Sexual harassment, I guess. Which, by the way, like wolf whistle can still be sexual harassment. So if you go to a lady and it's like, hey, senorita, what you doing? And she's like, fuck off, and you keep doing it, and then she tries to go away and you keep following her and keep doing, that's harassment. Ah, my God. Well, whatever. You know, and this is the conservative government, right? But they want to show that they're taking it seriously by not doing anything. The thing you should do is to allow women to defend themselves. That's the thing you should do. Remember that old pepper spray goes back into the woman's face meme. I don't know, but like, I guess it's possible. Look, if it's dark outside, all right, if it's dark outside, and you pull out the bottle, and because you're probably afraid, right? Like you're scared, and you pull it out, and you don't aim it properly. Like, yeah, okay, if it's windy, but like most pepper spray, they use a lot of power in order to make sure that the pressure is more powerful than the wind. So. Is the 72% from a YouGov poll because there is an issue with that? Maybe it is. I don't know. But like, if you're going to say something, so it depends how you define sexual harassment, right? So if sexual harassment, like someone slapping someone's ass, I can see it, and yes, it's a problem. But it's not like someone putting a woman up against the wall and trying to cop a feel. You know, like my point is, like you're going to have like different levels of gravity here. Someone slapping someone's ass, yes, it's a huge problem, don't get me wrong, but you can't really compare. Like, if a woman would come up and she would say, you know, like, I had the most horrible experience today, like, what happened? Oh, I was in a parking lot and someone put me up against the wall, was choking me and tried to take off my underwear, right? And then another woman would say, oh yeah, I definitely understand, like, once I was walking down the street and someone spanked my ass. You know, like, it's not even the same level. It's not even in the same category. Like, what on earth? I was talking about running into the paper spray vapor. What happens if you try to use it offensively? Yeah, I don't know. Like, people say that the only time I heard about people using pepper spray offensively, it was with car thieves. Like a taxi driver was telling me that there was like this method of trying to steal a car. They would pepper spray inside the car, so the guy has to run out because he can't stay in the car. And then you'd have like the people with the mask on, and they get into the car and they drive away. But that was like right after the communist fell, like the communist regime fell. And things were very chaotic in Romania because the law, you know, like the new government was taking it, so they didn't really have a firm grasp on the situation. Like, people could break the law a lot more easier. So yeah, like back then, that type of thing existed, but now I don't even think they would do that. So I've not heard, at least, people using pepper spray as an offensive weapon. I'm not saying it never happens. I mean, maybe it does, but like, it's such a weapon made for self-defense. Like, in almost any way that I can look at it, it's made for self-defense. Unless, like, the police, even the police, you know, when they're using it against the suspect, is because the suspect is trying to attack the police officer or something. Why is it going to get banned, Billy? It's not an effective weapon. No, I don't think. I mean, if you want an effective weapon, but even this is not an effective weapon, like a taser or a stun gun. You know, like a stun gun is also not an effective weapon because after you fire it, I mean, if you miss, you're kind of fucked. And even if you hit, like at one point the batteries run out, so the person can get up again. You don't want to be holding the pepper when the other person has a gun. Yeah, but like, you're not supposed to use it in a gunfight. Like, the way with the pepper is like you're supposed to use it like a skunk. You know, you just spray it and you run away. That's how you're supposed to use, like an octopus, like an octopusy. You spread the ink blob and you run away. The video is going to get banned because it's too much truth. Well, you need to understand, right? Like, why do people commit crimes? People commit crimes when they think there is no consequence or they can get away with it. So if you were to, like, let's say you're harassing women on the street, right? And if you harass a woman and you get pepper sprayed, it's very unlikely you're going to harass again, knowing that the other woman might also have a pepper spray. So you chill the fuck out. Like, stun guns often fail or don't work on drug. Yeah, but like, dude, you're not going to. You're not taking the world with a stun gun side character. Alright? Like, if someone tries to mug you or rob you, or, you know, you're getting attacked by a vicious dog or some shit, like you're not going to stun them and just continue fighting. Like, no, you're supposed to scare them and you're running away. That's the whole point of a defensive weapon. It's not like you're standing your ground. You don't do the castle doctrine with the stun gun. You're just like trying to like hurt the person enough so you can get the fuck out of there. That's the whole situation. And even if you manage to like detain that person for like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe other people can get in and help. And still, look up. Donut tasers don't work. I don't care. You know, I definitely think they work at I will tell you this, it's a lot better than nothing. Like, it's a lot better than being empty-handed or having, like, a cell phone. Like, by the time you call the cops and they arrive at the scene, the guy is probably gone. Assuming you even have the time, the luxury to hold a conversation with the cops. In LA, there was a convenience store that was robbed by a guy holding a baby alligator. Okay. I'll have to look at that the next stream. Thank you guys for watching. Really thank you for all the super chats. And hopefully you guys were entertained. That's my take on it. Okay, if you want to keep women safe, that's how you do it. And let me know what you think. I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.